We've surveyed Coach Greg subs, found out their 1 rep max and how much can they do their body weight for at various weights, and so I'm going to present the information. Coach Greg, and in today's video we answer the question, just how strong are you? And in particular, in the bench press. Watch this video, find out, are you above or below average in strength on the bench, depending on your body weight, as well as how many years of experience you have in the gym. And so the overall average, the average bench press, Coach Greg sub, clearly they're above average. They watch my videos, they're likely training in the gym, and so this is not the average person. The average person clearly going to be weaker than this. Those of you who have been training in the gym, no matter how long, you're clearly going to be stronger than average. And so the average bench, you want to guess what it is? 230. 230, 1 rep max. And so if you're going to the gym and you bench over 230, you're stronger than average. Under 230, weaker than average. And what about the elite? Cream of the crop, the top 95%, you're stronger than 95% of people who work out. Don't forget, these are people who work out. Clearly, those who don't work out, you're stronger than all of them. And so what is their bench? 320. And so if you see somebody doing a 320 bench or more, that person, that is a very strong individual, stronger than 95% of guys who work out, and of course, all the people who don't. Well, not of course, but probably not anyone out there benching over 320 who doesn't ever bench. But what about body weight? Clearly, if you weigh over 300 pounds, you have an advantage over someone who only weighs 100 pounds. If you're under 150 pounds and you want to be average strength, your bench 190. And so for the smaller guys out there, if you can bench 190, you're stronger than average. Elite strength, cream of the crop, 225 pounds. Up next, up to 180 pounds, the average bench 205, with the elite benching 315 pounds. That's 3 plates. Next up, my weight class, between 180 and 210 pounds, the average bench 240, with the max being elite at 310 pounds. And remember, I tested my 1 rep max with Will Tennyson, and it's 325 pounds. And so you can clearly see I'm not at the 95th percentile, despite the fact that I have world record in the bench press. Next up, the bigger guys weighed up to 240 pounds. Average bench 275, with the elite 370. That's a big bench, but remember, these are big guys jumping to the top, the heaviest guys, the massive monsters, over 300 pounds. The average bench 323 pounds with a 405 pound bench. But what role does experience play? How much does training in the gym affect your 1 rep max? Well, let's first look at the beginners. They've been training under 6 months. The average person training under 6 months, they can bench 185 pounds. Not a lot, but that's with under 6 months of experience. And so if they stick to it, they're clearly going to get stronger. And the elite, 275 pounds. And so if you go to the gym and you're already benching 275 and you've only been there for 6 months, you are one strong individual. And moving up, you've now been training, you're at an intermediate level, up to 2 years of training. The average bench, 220. With the elites, they've already moved up to 315 pounds with 2 years training or less. Next up, 2 to 5 years. And remember, newbie gains, they're slowing down drastically at this point. The first couple of years, you're going to get way stronger, but from 2 to 5 years, don't expect the gains to come as quickly. And so the average bench only goes up from 220 to 235 pounds. Not a huge gain. The elite, 315 to 320. Hardly any progress whatsoever from 2 to 5 years. The vast majority of Coach Greg subs who are watching my channel responding to this, they've been training somewhere between 6 months and 5 years. After this, there is a dramatic drop-off. And so most people who go to the gym, they tend to train for somewhere between 6 months and 5 years. If they train longer, the longer you train, the stronger they're going to get. But a lot of people, they give up at this point. And I do believe the reason for that is lack of training progress. It's fun at the start. Your bench press going up all the time. You're seeing significant changes in the mirror and in your strength levels. But after a couple of years, the strength, it still goes up, but slower. And that slower progress, it's less fun. It's fun when you're getting better all the time, improving by leaps and bounds, but when those gains, they slow down, it's a lot harder to get motivated, and for that reason, a lot of people, they just say, heck with this. I gave it a shot. I'm not going to turn pro anytime soon. I don't look like my favorite Gymshark model. I've been training 3 years and I'm throwing in the towel. Sad to see, but this is clearly evidence that supports that theory. And next up, 5 to 10 years. Congrats to you. You've stuck around a long time. Most people, they're giving up at an earlier age. You have stuck around. You're making the gains. And did you continue to improve? Heck yeah, you did. Average bench at this point, training up to 10 years, 275 pounds. Very impressive bench, 275. With the elite, 95th percentile, 365. And so I should also clarify that it is also true that a lot of my viewers are younger, perhaps late teens and early 20s. And so you haven't been alive long enough to have those years under your belt. But I encourage you to keep going, to stick with it. And yes, the gains are going to slow down, but as you can clearly see, you're still getting stronger 5 and 10 years into your training. And what about the most advanced, most experienced lifters like Coach Greg? You've been at it for 10 years plus. Perhaps you're in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on. How much can you bench? Well, at the 50th percentile, 285. And so you're continuing to get stronger even after 10 years. And max bench, 405. A lot of people are getting really strong at this point. The elites, 405. And so if you keep sticking to it, you keep training, you train over 10 years, you could in fact bench over 405. And think, it's probably a lot higher than that when you consider that if you've been training for over 10 years, perhaps you've been training for 36 years like Coach Greg, and your strength is now on the decline. Don't expect to be able to get stronger forever. And so Coach Greg, I started training at the age of 10, and so I'm on the decline now. I'm 46 years of age, not as strong as I used to be. Now remember, this is not natural or enhanced. This is a combination of both. There is no part on the questionnaire that says, are you advanced or are you natural? And so these are the average lifts of the people in the gym. And I can tell you that as people get older and they're training longer, the likelihood that they're on PDs, it goes up. There are fewer people who take PDs in their first 6 months in the gym. Certainly hope so. You're in the gym, you've been training for under 6 months, you're already not natural. That would be sad to see. And so as the training experience goes up, 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10, 10 plus, the likelihood that you're taking PDs goes up. And so if you compare yourself to these numbers and you are natural, don't expect that you should be at the 50th percentile. And so if you are below the 50th percentile and you're natural, to me, probably means that if you were not natural, you would be stronger than the average person in the gym. And so if you're an enhanced athlete and you're not as strong as 50% of the individuals, probably just means that you have very poor genetics or your training is not really that good. So perhaps change your training or realize that it's perhaps just not in your cards to be very strong, but that doesn't change the fact that you love the gym. And so I highly encourage you to keep training. And if you're weaker than average and you're natural, it could be that you have really bad genetics or you're comparing yourself to others who are enhanced. And so who cares? If you can only bench 85 pounds and you like training, keep training, keep benching. You don't have to be an animal, an elite lifter to have fun when training in the gym. And next up, what about how much you can bench your body weight? Let's level out the playing field. Perhaps you're a smaller individual, you don't weigh a lot, you're under 150 pounds, and so clearly you're not going to be as strong as most guys who are over 300. But what about how many reps can you do with your body weight? The average person can bench press their body weight 10 and a half times. That means if you're 185, you should be able to bench that for 10 and a half reps if you're going to be considered average strength in the bench press. The 95th percentile, if you can do your body weight for 25 reps plus, that is considered elite. You're at the cream of the crop, very strong individual. And so perhaps you don't know this. Well, next time you go to the gym, put on the bench press exactly what you weigh and see how many reps can you get. But what about based on body weight? Lighter individuals probably going to be stronger than larger ones. Or is it the opposite? The lightest guys, they don't have much muscle and they can't bench press much for their body weight. Well, let's see. In 3 straight categories, the average was all 11. And so for the most part, anyone 210 pounds or under, it's pretty much an even playing field. The average person can get 11 reps with their bench if they're under 210. So if you have a friend who's 140 pounds and you're 200, let's see a battle. They could put on 140, you put on 200. How many reps can you get? Can you both break 11? Who's stronger? Who's got that repetition bench press strength? Moving up to 240, those guys getting stronger? Well, they're actually weaker with their bench press. If they're putting on their body weight 240, on average 10 and a half reps. Moving up to 270, they're getting weaker now. Only getting 6. After all, they have to lift more weight, and so they are getting fewer reps. What about 270 to 300? Only 5 reps. Continue to get weaker, and over 300 pounds, 0 reps. The average person who weighs 300 pounds in the gym can't bench press their body weight. It makes sense. They're so massive. That's a lot of weight to bench. But at the 95th percentile, how much are they benching? 11 and a half reps. And so imagine that, 300 plus pounds, they're bench pressing their weight. Perhaps they weigh 315. They're getting it for 11 and a half reps. And what about the elite level for the lighter guys? Well, anyone under 210 pounds, whether you're 200, 150, 130, and so on, those guys on average 25 reps or more. And so if you can bench press your body weight for 25 reps and you are 210 pounds or under, you are considered elite. And what about based on experience, your body weight? Well, if you've been in the gym for under 6 months and you can get 2 reps, well, you're average. And so don't expect to go into the gym and be able to bench press your body weight for several reps. 2 reps, that's average. What about elite? 16 times. That's very impressive. Consider you've gone to the gym, only been there for 6 months, and they're already benching their body weight for 16. That is a very impressive lift. What about 6 months to 2 years? Up to 2 years training? Quickly jumps up. 9 reps. Average person goes from 2 reps to 9 from training up to 2 years. And the elite, they're now going from 16 reps to 25 repetitions. And what about up to 5 years training? Well, they go from 9 reps to 11, and the elite hold steady at 25 repetitions or more. Next up, the advanced lifters up to 10 years, they're now benching on average 14 reps, clearly getting stronger. And for the elites, continued on at 25 or more repetitions. Remember, that's at the 95th percentile. If we move even higher, 99th percentile, who knows, might be 30, 40, 50 repetitions. But in my opinion, to be considered elite, you're at the 95th percentile, stronger than 95% of people. Hope you're able to stick through that. It's a lot of numbers. Perhaps you can scroll through that again, find out where you are, what's your body weight, go to the gym, test it out. How do you rank against Coach Greg subs? Hope you enjoyed the video. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Please check out the bloops. And if you want a free training program, perhaps improve your bench press, become a newsletter subscriber. Close to 20 pages free. Become a newsletter subscriber. Also, harder than last time supplements, the cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Check out GregDoucette.com. Consider getting that. Click the link in the description. Also follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algo, and until next time, I am out.